want to be able to help females create generational wealth, inspire them in growth, and give them something that I didn't have. Because if I had it, I think that I will actually be 10 times even more.
I'm confident when I speak to people. And a lot of things is with being a double minority and being younger, people try to play you. They don't know that I have a whole team behind me, from my mom to my brokers.
What inspired the creation of Women Invest in Real Estate?
When I first got into it, I was like, when I was doing so well in real estate, I was like, I want to do some investing.
Happy Wednesday, winners. It is our favorite day of the week, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Talk It Out, the Ladies in Motion podcast, where we shine light on women that's winning in the local community. I'm your host, Madam Walker, and the only thing I enjoy more than shining light on one woman that's winning is spotlighting two women that's winning. And y'all, I just found out that these winning ladies are a mother and daughter duo. Make some noise for these ladies, okay? I am so excited to shine light on you ladies. May, Mother's Day month, so I always shine light on mother-daughter duos. That's usually ideal for me. And these winning ladies today have found purpose in empowering women to build financial freedom through education, community, and confidence. Through Women Invest in Real Estate, they've created a space where women can gain knowledge and confidence to build wealth and reach women who are ready to change their financial future. Their Women Invest Academy is where women learn how to turn their knowledge into action and their action into wealth. And with their actions, they've shown what women can build when they truly believe in the power of women supporting and elevating each other. So there's a song, let me know if y'all know these lyrics. They say, we move all by myself, but we are forced when we together. That came to mind when I was preparing for this interview for you ladies, okay? Because these ladies are good all by themselves. We got a producer, a writer here. We got Miss Nieva White. She's a graduate of the great state, Georgia State University. GSU. And, I've been doing something you were recognized in 2024. I didn't write it down.
Rising star?
She's a rising star, 2024. Okay, so these ladies are winning all by themselves. But when they got together, they have created Women Invest in Real Estate as a mother-daughter duo, and I think that is so special. So, ladies, welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited for this. I think it's just a full circle moment. And before we get started, is there anything you want to say, share, shout out, anybody before we get going?
Ooh, shout out?
Yeah, if you want to. Look, I done threw it out there. Let's do it.
You know what? I'm always going to shout out God.
God is good.
Right? All the time. And then after that, my family and friends.
Always.
Because they're the ones that support us, all the time.
I'm super excited to get in this. What about Nieva? You anybody? You piggyback with moms?
I'm going to shout out to my mom because I wouldn't be where I am without her. So I'm going to shout out my mom. And then I'll shout out my family and God and everything like that.
Thank you, y'all. I'm really excited to get into this. I have a lot of questions to ask. And I usually start these interviews, though, just the beginning, okay? So if I was to do this with one woman, I'll ask them, at the beginning of adulthood, what was it that you even saw yourself doing? So I do want to ask y'all, though, did you ever see yourself in real estate? Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all are 6 years in and doing real estate in general or just together?
In general.
Okay.
In general. Did I ever see myself in real estate?
Right.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. So I went to school for theater arts. I went to, I did it through high school. I was in the academy. Got my first degree in theater. Then I went to Georgia State. And I just saw myself as acting and doing all that. And then when I moved to Georgia, acting wasn't really making no money. You know what I mean? I'm a single mother trying to figure out how to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go on behind the scenes because they get paid first.
Yes.
Before that.
Right. And that's crazy.
So I was like, I still wanted to be in the world of it. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and do behind the scenes. And then I met this gentleman at the Port of Sanford Performing Arts Center, who to this day is my best friend. We're really good friends. And started doing that. And that's where I thought I was going to be at until COVID happened.
COVID changed people's lives, man.
It changed my life because at that time, theater stopped. And when I say we was doing theater, we was traveling all over the place doing theater, doing plays all over. Been at the National Black Theater Festival, you name it, we've been doing it all throughout Atlanta. COVID happened. My grandmother was like, you should really look into real estate. And then I had another friend bring it up as well. And people was just like, you'll be really good at it. And I was like, okay. I took the test. Did not pass it the first time.
Okay.
It's not an easy test.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, it wasn't easy. But I passed when I did pass, and it went from there.
And so prior to that moment, though, like people dropping the little birdies in your ear, was it always a little bird? Well,
No.
was it a little birdie in your ear then? Like, okay, pandemic, maybe I should pivot.
No, it was like when they cut the theaters out and there was like nothing for us to do. I didn't know what to do.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because that was my life.
Yeah.
That's all that I knew at that time. Like, I did it all through high school in some form from film. Like, I have movies on Amazon, Tubi. Like, that's all that I knew.
Wow.
Still do it to this day, but now it's the hobby because this is
Okay.
the bread and butter.
Love that.
So, I mean, no. It wasn't until my grandmother put the word out, and then another good friend of mine put the word out, and because another friend of mine's owned a brokerage, and she was like, you should do real estate, and then join her brokerage. It's a small boutique. Because at the time, I was training to be an appraiser.
Okay.
That's what I was doing because a good friend of mine, she's an appraiser.
Okay.
And she's been an appraiser for 25 years, and she was like, you should do this. But while we were training, she was like, you know what, I'm about to do real estate. And she was like, you should try it too as well.
Okay.
So like that was the second person after my grandmother said it.
So it's like, okay.
And so I was like, okay,
Dang.
why not?
And you're already appraising. That's kind of cool. Well,
Yeah,
training to appraise. So
I
that's
was already in the training. I had already took the classes. Like I was already in the training of being an appraiser. Like I was going out with her. So I was already knowing the tidbits. Me and her were always really big into like, what is the next thing to do on wealth? You know, like when you have those friends that are talking about that wealth conversation, and that was her. And so I should give her a shout out, Sanidra Potter. Like we always, like she's always talking about elevation of what can we do and how do we do this. And so that was always the conversation. So it was like, okay,
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then Nieva, what about you? Like when you were stepping into the early stages of adulthood, like graduating high school, what was your plan? Was it to go to Georgia State right after? And did you just land in real estate? Like, tell me what your journey kind of looked like.
So for me, I think I was always going to be that entrepreneur because when I was in high school, I was selling hair and lashes. Like I was always that go-getter. So I'm not surprised that I'm in this industry. But I think what put the icing on the cake for me getting into this industry was my mom.
Okay.
So while my first year, I went to Georgia State. During that summer, that's when I got my real estate license. So I got my real estate license in 30 days. I did the whole process.
Okay.
And then as soon as I graduated in 2023, I went full force. And I think in 2024, I graduated December 2023. 2024, I was Rising Star. 2025, me and my mom, we're the number 4 team at Keller Williams at our brokerage. For listens taken, listens closed, and everything. So we just came together.
Wow.
Because collaboration is how you get to the next level.
I'm telling you, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite quotes. They say, if you want to go far, go together. But if you want to go fast, go alone. You know, and collaboration is way better than competition is what we say a lot of the time. So, so is entrepreneurship something that you seen growing up? Because you said that you were selling hair and lashes and doing all the things already at a young age. So like, is that something that you seen? Like, what do you think you even got that entrepreneurship spirit from? And then mom, you too, you know, we'll start with you and then we'll go to you as well.
I think 100% my mom, my godfather, they're both entrepreneurs. And just seeing even my grandmother, she does a tax preparer on the side. She's also an accountant. So I think everyone had entrepreneurship. So it kind of poured into me. But even I remember back to my mom's place, I was selling candy. Like I was 9, 8 years old, always trying to make money on my own or just have that entrepreneur spirit. I remember I was at the amphitheater one year and I had the water and I had the signs and QR codes and I was selling like a little girl with a lemonade stand or something like that. So I was always, I'm not surprised that I'm in this industry.
And then for you?
But for her,
no, for you, like, did you grow up actually seeing entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship. I mean, for her, she did because like she was the one working the front door. She was doing whatever it was, like she said. And then you remember when we got you into the pads?
Yes.
Like
I was at Stonecrest Mall selling stuff. Like I was always
giving her something. Like this is what she's gonna do. So I was always pouring into her.
I love that.
Always something helping her and something to do.
And then I'm just curious. What did that look like for you?
You know, I'm the second oldest of 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah, brothers and sisters.
Okay.
My parents been together since my mom was like 14.
Wow.
And
Oh
so
my
they
gosh.
worked, right?
Right.
That's all that they knew.
Exactly.
And so that's all that I did was just to work, and that was it. My grandmother was an entrepreneur, but still, I grew up in the household. This is what I knew. And so it wasn't until I came to Georgia.
I love it.
And I moved to Georgia with my grandmother, who was the entrepreneurial person, right? And my grandmother was pushing entrepreneurship.
Love it.
You know, and when she, I was working at the children's hospital, and I was telling my girls, "Oh, I'm just not happy with this job. I just don't want to be here. This is not what I want to do." And she was like, "Baby, you need to go off and do your own thing." And when she told me to do that, she helped devise the plan.
What a
how
blessing.
to do that.
Yes.
And that's when I met who now, Blake. And it ran because he was very entrepreneurial.
Okay.
Like he was the one that that's all he knew. That's all he did. And coming from me, I'm like, no, I'm stable. This is the job.
Exactly. Right?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Too risky.
Yes, too risky. Like all those different things. Like the fear of all that stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, my grandmother devised the plan. We came up with the plan, like how to do it. And God said we met him. And then from that on, entrepreneur. And that's all that I know. And I wouldn't go back.
Amen. I love to hear that. Today's episode of Talk It Out is sponsored by King Production, where moments become masterpieces. This isn't just photography. This is art, energy, emotion, and a vision brought to life. At King Production, they turn ordinary into unforgettable visuals. From luxury portraits and branding shoots to graduations, birthdays, and exclusive events, they create timeless imagery that speaks volumes before words ever do. With a creative eye, professional editing, and a passion for capturing authentic moments, King Production delivers visuals that stand out in a world full of average. Book your next experience with King Production today and follow them across all platforms at King Production. And thank you so much, King Production, for sponsoring today's episode. So I want to ask you also kind of the same thing. I want you to take us back, though, the beginning stages of adulthood for you. Like, was your plan was it to go to college right away? Was it to, maybe put off your education and see what this arts would be like, even though you went to school and studied that? I'm just curious to see, though, what did young Latifah think like, at the beginning stages for adulthood, and when did motherhood come into play for you?
Well, I mean, I had my daughter at 19, so
okay.
I was in college
and
still when I was pregnant.
Okay.
So, I mean, motherhood was started when I was young.
Okay. I
was taking care of brothers and sisters forever.
13. Yeah. That's
so
a lot.
13.
Yeah.
So I was taking care. All my brothers and sisters who are grown now, they got their own kids. I don't wipe their asses.
That's crazy, right? To think about.
Yeah, like what? So, I mean, I was always in that motherly role, right?
I see.
Me and my older sister, Rita, so like that's all that we knew. And so then after I get out of that, here I go pregnant.
And so what was that like being 19, you're pregnant, but you are figuring out what the rest of your adult life would even look like? Like, what are some things that you did? School, what type of careers and everything?
I was still in theater, right? So
I love that, though.
I was going to school. I was going to NACAT for theater.
Okay.
Pregnant. And I finished college and I had her. And my professor was like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't know." And he believed in me so much because he felt like I was very talented. He was like, "Hey, man, there's this program I'm from Allentown, Pennsylvania." He was like, "You should go to Touchstone Theater and be there." And so I went there. And the people actually was like, "Hey, I don't know if you're going to be able to do this because you're pregnant." Well, I wasn't pregnant at the time, but I had my baby. It was like, "We don't know if we can really accept you in this theatrical program." At first, it was an apprenticeship because of you having a baby.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, no, I'll be fine. I'll make it work." And they said, okay, they gave me the chance. And then it just kind of went from there. So I was still I was fulfilling the role of theater.
I love it.
Like, I was like, this is my passion and this is what I'm going to do.
I love that. I really do. And I love when us children can watch our parents thrive in what they love. You know what I mean? Shout out to Marshina. That's a girl from my hometown. Yeah. She had her child also, it was 1920. And you know, she started everything that she's doing after she became a mom. And it was just so amazing to me. It's like, okay, because you hear like, oh, it'll slow you down, it'll do this, and maybe it might. But I love and just respect those moms that's like, no, my baby was right there with me. She used to say that all the time. So I love that. And so it's no surprise that y'all are even doing this and killing it, you know, together. So we're going to get into this like mother-daughter duo, okay? Okay. All right. So again, y'all kind of explain how you know, crept into real estate pandemic, 2023, you graduated 2024, rising star, put some respect on my girl name. Okay. But how did this mother-daughter duo just come about? Like, I want to hear how we decided like, this is going to be it. And then, you know, as I'm asking that, another question popped in my head. Let me ask that first. Because I want to know about the transition, first of all, Mom, coming from Pennsylvania, though, to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What was that like and why? You know, what made you come to Atlanta? Why? What was it like when you first got here? You know, what were some of the feelings that you had? Yeah, I would like to know that first before we get into how y'all started this here.
My grandmother, Louise Brown, I have to give her a shout out. She was like, you know, I should come to Georgia and try something different. You know what I mean? And I was doing well in Pennsylvania.
Really?
So it wasn't that I was like falling. I was doing great. Like, I was financially stable. I was working a good job at the hospital. I was doing good. I was like, you know what? Why not? What do I have to lose? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I came here to Georgia with 4 suitcases. 2 for me and 2 for her.
Wow.
And didn't have nothing. And moved in with my grandmother, and the rest is history.
And the rest has been history.
The rest has been history.
Good for you. You liking it? Obviously, you're here.
I mean, at first I hated it.
Really?
Oh, I hated Georgia. There's so much, because one, I'm from up north, so there's a different type of,
yeah.
Like, the things are just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, from the people, all the stuff that people say is not really the same. So people didn't like the way I talk sometimes, where they say I talk too fast, or just all of those different things. I came off a certain way, my attitude, just different things from being up north where people didn't take it that way, but here they do. And so it was tough. And then you don't know nobody. You don't have no friends. All my family and friends is up north. So I miss them. I used to drive the 12-hour drives like any and all times. Like every other month I was driving out there to visit them.
Oh no.
That's how much I missed it. And then it just came to a point to where I was like, another good friend of mine, my best friend, he moved here to Georgia. He actually was one of the ones that helped me to make that decision. West, they call him. He was like helping me navigate this whole Georgia life and getting out here. I don't know. I think in just one day I just had to accept it and just make it do what it do.
What was the moment of like, you know what? This is not so bad, or, oh, you know what? I actually like it, or I can find my lane here. Like, did you ever have that moment? What was it? And if not, what was it about here that made you like, you know, I'm a ride it out? Because my first year was cool. My second year was like, you know, my first year was cool, but it's like, you know, that's only 1 year. I got to see what the second year is going to be like. You know, my third year was crazy, but after that, it started to make sense. So I want to ask you that. Yeah.
I mean, come on, you got to think. I'm a single mom. I don't have no job, no real money. You know what I mean? Shoot, I went and got a car with no money. They faked my pay stubs, all that kind of stuff. And didn't know how I was gonna pay it. Got voluntary repo. Like, I mean, you know the stress, you know, all those different things. Like, I just didn't like it. You know what I mean? But I knew that I needed to continue to keep pushing.
Love that.
You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. And I think it was just seeing my daughter, like, just being cool and just being happy with her grandparents and everything, you know, just enjoying that. And it was like, I just want something better for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And something different for her. And I don't think it was until maybe 5 or so years into it when I went to go visit, and I realized there was nothing there for me. And that's when I realized. It wasn't, like, I still didn't like Georgia, but I went to go visit my family.
Yeah.
I love my family. But I realized there's nothing in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I fulfilled everything there was to do out there.
Girl, that's so good.
And I there was nothing that Pennsylvania could give me anymore. And so I was like, you know what? This is my place.
This is it.
And that's when I just accepted it.
Oh gosh, I love to hear that. I really, really do. So real quick before we go on, are you an only child?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Okay. So what do you feel like that what effect did that have on you? I'm just curious to know, you as a woman and just as an entrepreneur, networking, anything, like, do you think that has advantages or any effects on you? That's
Well,
amazing.
When I was younger, since she has 13 brothers and sisters, some of them are around my age. So every summer I used to go out there for
Wow.
3 months.
Okay.
So I didn't feel as alone, like lonely or anything like that. But I think with me being the only child, I was okay with being by myself and going to networking events. Because even last year, did solo traveling for networking, and I'm used to being alone, so it didn't affect me. But I'm catching flights in hotels in different cities all by myself. So I think that is a pro of looking at things. And now I'm okay with being the only child. Like I was back then, I used to want I still have a dog. I used to want the dogs. Did I want brothers and siblings?
You didn't say you wanted brothers and sisters. You wanted that dog.
Yeah.
Listen, keep them two-legged people, but we get a pause.
They never grow up. You always take care of them.
Right.
Still taking care of my dog to this day. I think she's 13 years old.
Aww.
But I don't think I ever really wanted brothers and sisters because I didn't feel lonely. But I think with me growing up alone, I had my own back. I didn't mind it.
She was always in something.
Oh yeah, I was always in sports.
Okay,
so
good.
I was always active from like piano classes, basketball, gymnastics,
cheerleading,
track,
Love it.
swimming. So I was always busy. So I didn't have time to I want brothers and sisters.
Right. No.
Every summer she was in camp.
That's good. Shout out to mama. Okay, and I love that. And did you ever find like a knack for theater though, acting, anything like that? Since because my mom is in medical and she loves it truly, but I just personally, I've thought about it because one time I was in a hospital and I had a nurse who was nice. I was like, I would like to be a good nurse for people and just be nice and give them a good experience. But truly, that's just not my thing, So have you ever found interest in theater, acting, anything that your mother does? And, if so, if you did, did you pursue it? And if not, like, why not? Do you think so?
So everyone around me says I'm very dramatic. So I think a lot of people think that I should be in acting, but this is like truly my personality. So a few years ago, my mom used to do Monologue City. So I did okay with that. I kind of probably just did it.
She was forced to do theater and be in skits and do stuff. Like in a movie, like she was kind of forced. Like, we got a kid. This one right here.
Like she's here.
She's already here.
Yeah.
She was forced into it. I mean, doing everything from behind the scenes to in front of the scenes or whatever in it.
But I wouldn't say I was passionate about it. I was just kind of going through it.
She didn't like it.
Right.
She's not like it.
Just doing it. Just because.
She had no choice, but she would. Her choice would not be in theater at all.
Okay.
She does not like it.
Let's get into this business. Right. I'm curious to know. And you grew up around it.
I don't have a reason. I just don't think.
She's not her thing.
But everyone thinks I'm acting. I feel like I be so serious.
You be for real. I love that so much. And, I just love that y'all are doing great things together. But I love that, you had entrepreneurship spirit early, selling hair, selling lashes. Are you still into beauty in any type of way?
No, I feel like I've elevated and really truly focused on real estate.
Yeah.
I think everything that I've done in the past, as far as doing YouTube videos, it helps me with public speaking. So I'm not afraid to speak in front of people. I think learning, those were my trial and error years on customer service, just managing everything because I was doing it alone. I wasn't paying for ads. I vividly remember, I would never forget, Tiz seen me and I was passing out business cards at Georgia State. I was outside, after class, I would sit in a common area and talk to people and people would just gravitate towards me. What is this lady talking about? But Tiz was all I seen you ever do was hustling around GSU campus.
So you knew, yeah. So you knew when you graduated, I'm getting into this real estate and, you just knew it. Or you just knew you was going to get it by any means necessary, no matter what it was.
I feel I knew I was always going to be in entrepreneurship. I just didn't know it was going to be real estate. Okay. But now since I'm in the industry, I love it. So I'm going to stick it through.
Yeah. I told her when I did it my first year and I did amazing and it changed my life.
Okay.
I was like, oh, you're doing this.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay.
It didn't matter if she didn't want to do it. I was like, you're gonna go ahead and go to school and get this real estate license.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
And then if you get it and you don't, then whatever. But you get it, and you knew it was gonna work.
Yeah.
So I want to really get into it because I'm really excited because again, y'all been doing amazing things. You were recognized number 4 out of 300 plus. You know what I mean? Other agents. So I just want to get into how y'all have built this success. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
So again, how did it come about that y'all were gonna do this together? You know, you did it. You seen the success. You said you got to do it. But when did y'all start working together as a duo?
I think the beginning stages is I started working on her social media. I think that was like the biggest thing. And then I think a couple months later, we shot with John and did some videos and stuff like that. So I think that's when we knew that we were going to do this together. Because in my beginning states of my real estate career, I wasn't really doing anything because I was still in college.
Right.
So as soon as I graduated, I said, well, the job industry sucks right now. The market sucks. So I'm going to just go full force on this. And I believe in myself so much because of my entrepreneurship background. Like my first month of selling hair, I made thousands of dollars and I had no ads. I was just hustling. So I knew that I could do the same thing in any other industry. So I think that's kind of like the start is when I started working on your social media. I'm like, Mom, you can't post this. You got to say this. You got to have a hook. You can't just be on there. And then we
She was the assistant in real estate. So I was teaching her things as far as the paperwork and learning these do this because I was so busy. She was the one kind of assistant at that time.
And I just think now, we've just grown together and we just keep growing in our business ventures.
Have y'all learned anything about each other just in starting this alone together that you maybe didn't know before? I'm curious to know.
I would say for myself.
Yeah.
Most females or people understand, as you get older, you get tired. You know what I mean? I don't feel like doing this anymore. The hustle over it. And she brings a whole new vibrant thing. She's so uplifting and positive that even when I be like, oh man, I'm exhausted. She's like, no, mommy.
She got the energy.
Yeah, she has the energy. And so she keeps me energized. And so that's what I realized, that even when I feel like I'm like, she's always keeping me energized.
So, Nieva, what about you? Is there anything that you've learned about your mom in this entrepreneurship journey together that you maybe didn't know before? Or anything you learned about yourself watching your mom in this entrepreneurship journey?
What I learned is that even though everyone says we're twins, we're very similar, I learned that we're actually still very different in our own ways on how we work. So I think that's the biggest struggle because I'm very I'm not saying she's not goal-oriented, but I'm task driven. I have to have checklists on what I've done, and my mom is not as. I'm not gonna say she's not task driven. What's the word you think it is?
I'm more flow. I can go with the flow.
Okay.
She's like, no, this is how 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs to be done just like this. And I'm like, you can still get the 2. It just could go a different way. It doesn't have to go.
I think the word I'm looking for is more structured.
Yeah, she is a little more structured, and I'm going to go with the flow.
Even if I'm driving here, we got to be here at 11. Okay, that means we got to be at the door at 10. That means we need to be up at 8, and that means we need to be done with this. That's how I am. Yeah. So I think that's what I've learned about myself is that I am very structured, and that's what I've learned about myself.
And so, Mom, I want to ask you this because you said that you did real estate for a year and you nah, I got to put Nieva on this, So what was there, let me say this. Was there a defining moment where you realized dang, this really could change, you said it changed your life. What was that defining moment where you realized that, I'm curious to know.
I mean, the money.
The money.
Yeah. I mean, it was at a point, let me just say this. Once I got into real estate, I saw money in a whole different light.
Really?
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Because, when you're just making ends meet, you see, oh, I can never get $10,000. That's going to take forever. And $2,000 is so much money, and that's how you kind of think. And then when you get in real estate, $10,000 is nothing. You know what I mean? Money just changes you in a different way of how you see things prospectively, how you start to see investments, how you start to see passive income, how you just start to see this, how you can get that. Oh, how much you say that we need? We need this. We need $30,000. Okay, cool. That I can do that. But back then, I couldn't see myself with $30,000 doing an investment deal and having the cash to be able to do that. I thought that was impossible. You know what I mean? Because I didn't grow up like that.
Right,
so
right.
Money was that. I can. I can never make that. I was making $30,000-$40,000 a year. You know what I mean? And now to be able to pull that in a month.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to get my license.
Think about
Right.
to start to think of things differently, and it really changed my perspective on life, finances, vacation. I mean, I took my first real vacation when I did real estate.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I was like, whoa, this is what it's like? You know what I mean? Like going on a trip and experiencing the 7 day. Like you just don't. I couldn't afford to do those things back then. So I did those things, but I did it in a different type of way.
I understand.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Now I see the light in a different way.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you said the first year was good, it changed your life, but was there any doubt at all in yourself? Like, what about some struggles in that first year that you went through? And then I want you to answer that, but then I have the same question for you. Like, were there anything that you struggled with that you were able to put Nieva on? Like, listen, my first year was like this, but
my first year was great.
Yeah, it was. No, I love to hear it.
I mean, I was with a small boutique. And she was giving leads within 30 days. I got a lead, went under contract, and was.
That's what's
and
up.
My first check hit me, and then I didn't stop.
You didn't look back.
I didn't look back. My first year was great.
Love that.
My broker at the time, Stephanie Thomas, she was saying that I was what was she saying? Fire. I was ignorance on fire.
Ignorance on fire.
Because I did not know what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And I was on fire. Literally just doing it.
Where do you think the fire came from in your first year? Where did that come from?
I think it came because I was an entrepreneur.
Okay, so
regardless, it just was what it was, and it just prepared me for what I was about to do.
Love it.
You know what I mean? It just was what it was, and I'm a go with the flow kind of person. Like I don't need to. You give me a little bit, and I can run.
I love it.
And that's just what I did. So my first year was great.
Love to hear it. And then your first year, what in comparison to your mom, what would you say your first year was like?
I think it was definitely different. I mean, it's a difference because I didn't go full time into real estate. I was still in college. So it was a part time. So I think I did have those doubts because I'm 22 years old. Yeah. My friends are not buying houses.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go into the workforce. So I don't know that many people who can afford a home. So I think that kind of put doubts in me. And then two, my first couple of deals, they fell through. I got under contract in 3 weeks like my mom. But I believe like for the first couple months, all my deals were falling through.
Wow.
So I was like, why is this happening? So I think for me, that's when I started to have doubts. But now I believe in myself. I'm very confident when I go to appointments, when I speak to clients. But maybe 2-3 years ago, was not as confident.
And I want to ask you though, like, what was it? Like when you got your contract 3 weeks and it fell through. Like, did you ever though during that struggle feel like, Mom, maybe this is just for you? I don't want to do this. Like, I'm 22. I don't want to do this. Like, did that ever cross your mind? Or was it always like, okay, I'm gonna work through this? And what did you do to overcome those feelings? You know what I mean? Because you are so young at 22. And the reasons are valid.
Now.
Oh, but
I got my license at 19.
Right. So I'm curious.
So that must have been 19 when that was happening.
It was 19. Yeah.
I think I wasn't as stressed about it because I still was in college.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's plan A. So I'm not stressed if this doesn't work out.
Okay.
But now this is plan A. I mean, now real estate is plan A. But I think what gave me the confidence is being more knowledgeable. Because the more knowledge you are, the more confident you are saying what you're saying. Back then, I wasn't as knowledgeable into real estate. Now, I'm well-versed into investments, real estate, short sales, working with sellers. So I'm confident when I speak to people. And a lot of things is with being a double minority and being younger, people try to play you. I get played to this day, every single day, because they're like, they only see me like on the email lead. So they don't know that I have a whole team behind me from my mom to my brokers. They all try to play me. They be like, oh, this little girl don't know anything. So they just try to use and abuse because it's the dog-eat-dog business in real estate.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. So we're going to get into like Women Invest. Okay, we're going to talk a little about that. What inspired the creation of Women Invest in Real Estate? The brand. I'm curious to know.
How did you start? Because it was originally your like idea, and I think I just amplified it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when I first got into it, I was like, when I was doing so well in real estate, I was like, I want to do some investing. You know what I mean? And so I tried it. I didn't have anybody to teach me. You know, and there was no one there to help me, to guide me. So, you know, I did it. I did it a little bit back in the day, and failed terribly.
Okay.
Lost money. And so this time around, when I did it again, you know, I'm in real estate, I'm doing much better. I know appraisal. Like, I just feel a lot more confident in it.
Both of y'all talking about confidence.
Yeah, because confidence is important. You know what I mean? And so when I did it the next time around, again, no help. No one told me what to do. I just figured it out. You know what I mean? And that's what I just did. So, of course, I messed up. Because there's no one there to help me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I learned through all of that and did well on that investment deal. And then from then on, I kept on going. And that's just how it just happened. You know what I mean?
Okay. And why was it important for you to create a space, you know, specifically for women where you could educate them and give them knowledge? You know, I'm curious to know why that was important for you to create.
That's my passion. Like, I want to be able to help females create generational wealth, inspire them in growth, and give them something that I didn't have. Because if I had it, I think that I would actually be 10 times even more. If I didn't have to go through the mess ups, if I didn't have to go through the contractors screwing me over, not understanding all the different things, because people think that it's a get rich quick thing.
Right.
And it's not. You know what I mean? You gotta actually learn these deals and understand them. And if you don't, then you're going to mess up. You can be lucrative, or real estate can take you out.
As well. And I like to add on, like, we like to tell the people in our community, we walk so you guys can run.
I love that. So if you are telling someone right now and they would come up to you and say, hey, what is Women Invest in Real Estate? What would you say?
I would say it's a community for women to learn how to invest. If that's even as small as saving for your first home or building a development, we're going to help you in every point that you're in. So I think that's the biggest thing. Some people are waiting for that perfect moment, but it will never be a perfect moment. We're going to meet you where you're at and help you get to that big goal. So maybe in 10 years, you're looking to doing a fix and flip, but first you got to save for 3 years to buy that first home, stay in that first home, save money for the investment. We're not, teaching to get rich quick. We're just providing information that applies to women.
House hacking, whatever that looks like, you know what I mean? And that's just our passion. Like, we went through it, and then we're like, females can invest.
Yeah.
And they don't have to have all of the, because people feel like, well, I have to be making this type of money.
Right.
Yes. No. Or I have to have this. No. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that we're like, no, ladies, you can do this. And we want to help you do this.
Because even like with a DSCR loan, you don't need any money. A lot of people don't know that. That goes based off of rental comp.
Okay.
A lot of entrepreneurs feel like they can't buy a home. There's, entrepreneur loans, bank statement loans. So there's different ways to maneuver some of those challenges that we all face. And I think the biggest thing is bridging that gap. Because when we talk about us as minorities, we're behind compared to our counterparts.
Yeah.
So I just think it's our mission to bridge that gap with females and us being double minorities.
Absolutely, because the fastest way to get to wealth right now
is real estate. 90% of millionaires is because of real estate.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So you were saying some things earlier a lot of people just don't know. So I want to ask you ladies both, like, what do you think keeps women from women or people, but we're talking about the ladies. What do you think keeps them from taking that first step? Like, what is it? Because it do sound a little scary. Yeah. It does sound a little scary. It's like investing. You automatically think you need 5 figures off the rip. Yeah. It can be overwhelming. But from y'all's experience, what do you think that thing is that keeps women from doing this?
2 things. One is fear and one is money.
Okay.
So fear stops people from everything because they're scared they're going to lose.
And
my thing is, once you get over losing, then you'll win.
And my next question, literally though, that's so good. It says, what are some fears you hear women say all the time when it comes to buying or investing? Yeah. So money?
One, they feel like, well, I don't have the money to start this investment, this deal. And so we will, and like we have our academy and our Women Invest in Real Estate Brunch, we show you the different ways of how to come up with the funds or the money to do it. We get those things, and then we change is mindset.
Yeah.
You got to get into a mindset of not scarcity
and abundance.
Yeah,
Well,
those are the two things. Like, I rather fear not having the abundance and not trying instead of fearing the unknown.
Yeah.
And I would say another thing is a lot of women lack confidence. And the reason why they lack confidence is because they don't have the knowledge. And that's why it's so important for us to pour into the knowledge instead of get rich quick, invest, those what is it? Where people was back in the day when they was...
Oh, they still kind of do it. But, one investor might have all the money and everyone's kind of putting their money in together to build that, which works in some cases.
But sometimes people will rob and scam you or whatever. And then it was something else that I wanted to touch on. They lack confidence. I forgot. What was the question again?
Some fears that you hear women say all the time when it comes to buying.
I think another thing is they're waiting for a man. I was just talking to a lady that I recently helped her with a rental, and she made great money, and she was like, the reason why I'm waiting to buy is because of a man. And a lot of women are not talking about finances with their friends.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason. It's like, I guess, taboo, and men, they're talking about finances with their friends. So I think a lot of women feel like, I can't get a house until I have a family.
Yeah.
Or I think another misconception is
100%.
Younger people, they feel like, why do I need a house?
But I
tell
you.
people, you can buy a condo or you can buy an investment property because the thing about it, this property is going to appreciate. That Benz that you're driving is depreciation.
Yeah.
And people don't understand with AI and all these things, they're going to take your job. But if you have rental properties, no one can take that from you. You own that.
That's good.
AI can't take where you're going to sleep at. They can't take that.
They can't.
That's not my new thing that I'm trying to get people to get. Get you a rental portfolio because, one, you need passive income.
Yeah.
While you're sleeping.
You do.
need to be having something that's working for you.
You do.
And AI can't take that. And as the living increases, because with our grandparents, like you tell my dog, when I was renting, I was paying $500 for rent.
Yes.
$600 for rent. You'll never see that again.
Good old days.
And that means that it's 2026.
Yeah.
30 years from now, what do you think it's going to be?
Oh, man. I can't only
It's
imagine.
probably going to be the same.
Exactly.
Just sad. Lord have mercy.
Exactly. So we have to figure out, how do we do this? And so confidence is a thing for us as females.
I just wanted to let you know that my very next question says, how important is confidence when it comes to wealth building, and especially being in this industry? And you've said it, but y'all keep saying it. Confidence is key. But again, I just want you to say it again. How important truly is the confidence,
It's important. I mean, I think we are with Keller Williams right now. And one thing they did teach us is books. Knowledge really is power.
Because no one can't take it from you. Once you know something, no one can't take it from you. And I was just listening to a podcast last night. You only not know something once.
Okay, that's good.
So I think confidence is 1,000% what you need. Because if you're like, I can't invest, no one's going to believe in you if you don't believe in you. But if you're like, I'm going to invest by the end of 2026, and I'm going to do it. Or as a REIT, because REITs are residential. It's similar to stocks. So those are ways that you can invest. You don't have to always buy that house, or you can start budgeting, because a lot of people, they don't know their finances, which is so weird to me.
It's crazy. It really is. Like,
or they don't know their credit score. I asked somebody, I don't know, maybe it's in the 600s. You don't know.
Yeah, and that's the key thing. You know what I mean? Like, credit, you can go far knowing your credit score and all these. And that's another thing. Like, even now because that's what we invest in real estate, but just in the real estate of buying a house, people fear buying a house.
Yeah.
They fear it.
Yeah.
And because they don't know their credit score. I don't know my credit score, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it go. And I tell people, to me, and I say this to my dogs all the time, success is when preparation meets opportunity. We don't get prepared for the opportunity when it comes. And so if you want to buy a house, you need to know what your credit score is. You need to know what those steps are to get into it and not guess.
Okay. We're going to talk about something since we're here. I was going to talk about mindset, but since we're here, we're going to go to this, okay? First time home buyer questions. I have some of those, okay? And I just want to let you, like, everything that y'all are speaking are 100% facts. I remember being a young lady, and I remember just saving money because I was told you had to save, and I had a bunch of money just saved for no reason. Nobody told me to buy a house. Nobody ever put that in my ear until now, and I'm in my 30s. But back then, it's like, dang, But something I was telling myself was like, dang, why do I need a house? I am so young. Maybe I'll buy a house when I get married. Like when I buy my first home with me and my husband buying it together. I was literally saying stuff like that. And then to hear you say that, it's like, you know what? Game changer right here. Okay. So I love to hear it, that you're putting it out there and telling women to shift our mindset.
Because the thing is, you can wait for that husband. Y'all can get another house and rent that one out.
Yep.
But if you would have brought a home, I don't know how old you are, 5-6 years ago, what the mortgage was, $1,000. I'm talking to sellers. The lowest one was $400 or $500. And I'm like, y'all would never see that again.
Never.
I mean, also too, the ladies that are investing feel like they need a man to fix and build and do all the contractual things that you have to do. But females can be a general contractor. You know what I mean? They can oversee everything. You can be the boss. You know what I mean? And I think females are just scared of that leadership role. Some of us are. We feel like we need to have that guy as a comfort.
Is perfect credit required to get started? And what does the perfect credit score look like for a person to get started in a home buying process?
The better your credit score is, the lowest your interest rate is, which means the lower your payments will typically be. But I like to tell people at least be around a 640 credit score.
Okay.
But we know people that can get you at 620.
Or 580.
Right. I've been hearing that 580 number, 620 thing.
Have good DTI and a couple other things to be there.
That's debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta have those things. But again, VA, right? I have a lender who can get you a house. I got someone a house at 400 credit score.
The VA is a veteran's loan.
Sorry,
it's okay. I knew that, but for the people in the back. Okay, I got you.
There's so many. Everybody's story is different as far as credit. So like you can get properties with that. But no, we do recommend you to have at least a minimum between a 620 and 640 credit score.
What would you say the biggest mistake that first time homeowners make? Because I heard you say something earlier. You were saying people are waiting for that perfect moment.
Oh, yeah, I think waiting costs you. Like people who brought homes in 2020, their mortgages are. I had a client out in Temple, Georgia. They brought in 2020, sold that house in 2024. And I believe they made $100,000 because they brought in the perfect time. I think it's the same thing as if you do anything in life. It's never going to be a perfect moment. You just have to be like, set a date on June 1st. This is what I'm going to do. And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I do think that waiting is a big problem for everybody, not preparing yourself to get ready. And I think another thing is that finding the right realtor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because the right realtor will help you with the knowledge of understanding the process of buying a home. Again, assist you with getting the closing costs or whatever it is that you might need to be able to get yourself into that home.
Because all agents are not the same.
I was going to ask that, like, what makes a good realtor? Like, what separates a good realtor from a not so good realtor? Like, what are some things that people should be looking for when they are choosing a good realtor? Look at her, she might be able looking at mama. Mama done cracked a smile.
I think one of the things you need to be looking for when you're looking for a good realtor is someone who is communicative.
I was just about to say that. Communication.
It's really important. Like, you want to make sure they're communicating. I mean, either aspect, as far as selling your house or buying your house. I call homes for, when I'm a buyer's agent, and those seller agents,
they do not answer the phone.
So that's why your house is sitting, because your agent is not answering the phone.
Oh my God.
Like, check. Have a friend.
Or I send out text, no respond. I'll call and text.
No response. Have a friend if you have a listing agent for your home. Have a friend call that agent and see, are they answering the phone? What do they respond? Like, what are their questions? What are they saying? How they communicating? That's key. If you don't have an agent who's communicating, wrong agent. That's one. Two, you want to have an agent that understands negotiation, because everything in real estate is negotiated.
Okay.
So if they're not keen in negotiating and they can't get you, then you might not have a great agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think those two are like really important. And three, you want to have someone that understands you and that listens. Because some agents, they
have commission breath.
Yes.
And
elaborate.
I mean, I know it's our job to get paid, but since they're maybe not in a financially good situation, they're so focused on getting to the closing table that it could cost you.
Yeah.
Because they have commission breath. Like, I will go on listing appointments and say, you should keep this home. Like, I'm not saying sell this home. But if you want to sell it, I can sell it for you.
Right.
But I'm telling people, you need to keep this home in the family. Like, for example, the lady who had a 500 credit score, I said, y'all should try to keep this and fix it up. But if you don't, I'll help you sell it. But I think
we're not scared to tell you no.
That's a blessing to
We're
have
not
you ladies,
scared.
for real.
We're not at a financial thing like we got to buy or whatever. No, like I'm really trying to help you because that's really what I want to do from my passion to help you. So it's not about the money.
Yeah.
And some agents won't show a house because they're not making a certain commission, which you shouldn't. That's not right. And so you want to make sure that you have an agent who isn't, like you were saying, has commission breath.
Commission breath. I like that term.
or just so salesy and not like listening to you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like a lot of people, you can be approved for 500,000, but you might be house poor at 500,000. So it may be best for you to be at 350. But because they want the higher commission at 500,000, they may try to push you into that home, and that's not the best thing for you.
You want someone who's looking out for your best interest in all aspects.
Because I fight hard for my clients. Like, I be in the paint. I be like, can we get this? Can we get that?
Yeah, but then don't get me wrong, you got some people that say, hey, I want a house for $100,000. That's not possible. Right? So we do got to say, well, let's look at these houses for $100,000, but let's look at these houses for $250.
Yeah.
This might be where you might need to be at because this is more what works for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so everybody is different. So I just think that people just have to understand like what it is that you're looking for in a realtor. And those three things I would say look out for. Communication, negotiation, and commission
breath. That's the one. Let me see. We kind of talked about it being a process and people waiting on the perfect moment to buy a home. But what should women start doing now? If they wanted to buy a home in the next like 1 or 2 years, what are some things that they should be doing like right now, making sure that they are prepared to do this and actually buy the home in 1 or 2 years?
Well, I think the first thing first is your credit. What is your credit score? Do all those different things that you got to do to get your credit right, to be able to purchase. So that means that get with a realtor, get with the lender, so that way they do soft pull, so it doesn't affect your credit.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are scared, like, I'm gonna get that ding on my credit. Like, they do soft pulls. Find a lender that do soft. If they don't, then that means that's a whole nother story. But soft pull, so you can see what your credit score is, and they give you credit plans. So they'll literally give you a plan and tell you like, okay, in 6 months you'll be able to buy this house. In a year you'll be able to buy this house.
Okay.
So you'll know what you have to do step by step to be able to purchase the house. So that's the first thing. And then once you get there, then you will start looking for the home in the process and how much money you need to have and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But that's the first step.
And I would say, like, having money saved. I feel like, you can get a home for low, but people literally be trying to buy homes with no money. It's, like, weird to me. But having at least 3% of the purchase price. So if you're looking at a $300,000 house, at least have $9,000 saved for your down payment. Because down payment assistance is great. I'm not down in it, but it may not be the best opportunity to you because a lot of people don't know you have to pay that on the back end. It goes into the loan. So they're like, oh, I'm saving money. But if you got $9,000 just paid up front.
That's so good that you say that because I've heard a million times, like someone recently just came to my job and they were having a first time home buyer seminar, which, she probably was right, but she just kept saying, I don't know if I'm ready to buy a home right now, but I'll go. And she kept saying, girl, you can have no money down. She kept saying that, which I hear that a lot, but just to hear you say that, like people actually come in trying to do that. It's like, listen, try to have something. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you never know.
The appraisal that you got to pay for.
Yeah.
That's another fee that people don't talk about. I have the money for that. That's anywhere between $500 to $700.
And the home inspection.
The home inspection. That's another thing that you want to do.
Right.
So you got to have that money too for that. So there's other things like I want you to have something. I'd rather you have 10, 20, whatever $1,000, and then you end up not spending none of it.
Right.
Right.
I mean? But at least you have it and you're prepared. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Yes, you can buy a house with no money down. Yes, there are times. I have times where people get checks back.
Thing.
But I don't think that should be the expectation for people.
Yeah.
I
get what you're saying. It shouldn't be the expectation.
Yeah, because that may not be your story.
Everybody's story.
And then I think that's when people be like, oh, my realtor wasn't good because they said I could do this and we don't like over promise and under deliver.
See, I was gonna skip these two, but I feel like they're important. I have to ask them, you know. So I got two more when it comes to this first time home buyers thing, because you kind of just both said it. So I'm curious to see what y'all will say. But what is more important, your income, your credit, your mindset, or discipline when you're getting ready to take this on? Okay, hey, I'm about to buy my first house, girl. I need to get my mind right, discipline, or is it just all collective? All of it need to be together. Your income, your credit, your mindset, and discipline.
I think all of it, but I think the most important thing is your debt to income ratio.
Really? Okay.
Because you're going to be house poor, you're going to be stressed out. So I like to say 28% of your income max for what your mortgage should be. Because I think a lot of people, because I recently had to look for a new car, and they said the average car payment is $750, $800. I said, what?
Crazy.
Crazy. So you got an $800 car note, car insurance, and you're about to have this mortgage payment. Like, a lot of people can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I think that's more like the more important thing, and obviously like mindset and everything that you just said.
But again, me and her, again, is all about the health. It's the healthy way of making sure that you are in the right place, because we really want to help you be good and not just get you into something and you're like struggling.
Yeah, like we don't want to put you in a house and then 2 years later we see foreclosure or something like that.
You keep using a term and I want to ask what it means. I think you're saying home broke or home poor. What are you saying?
House poor.
House poor. What does that mean? Elaborate.
I think when you truly can't afford it, like on paper, it looks like you can afford something, but truly you can't afford it, because when we look at all of your debt versus you don't have a net worth.
Okay.
A lot of people think, oh, I got $10,000 in the bank, but your credit card statement says $20,000.
Right.
You don't have. You're in debt.
You're negative. Yeah.
But because they feel like they have this cash, they think that they have money. So I think, like I said, on paper, it looks like you can afford certain things, but you truly can't, because you may be helping out your parents or, you know, paying $1,000 for your kid for health insurance for them to be in sports and all those type of things. So when you add up everything, you got $100 at the end of the month.
Makes sense.
I mean, nothing. Because you're struggling, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you work this, whatever the job is, I don't know, you look good, but it doesn't, we don't know all the other things that's going on.
Yeah, because you're out in Atlanta at a $4,000 penthouse when you could just be in a home for $2,500. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people are house poor.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Okay, I'm learning some stuff, y'all. I really am. Commission breath, house poor with the red flags, okay? All right, and this is my last one. Again, what's one thing that people waste money on that they could actually be investing, that they could be invested into ownership?
That they're spending every single day, like in their life, you're saying?
Yeah, like, or they're buying, or... So yes, under every single life, or when they're about to buy a home, you seeing people, like I know someone that just bought a home, and they're actually, I'll use my girl Jalen. Jalen bought her home, and she said she was like, very adamant on like furnishing her house the way that she needs it. Like, and she said she realized, she looked back, she could have waited on certain things. She spent thousands of dollars, or, you know, anything in the home buying process that you see people spending money on or wasting money on that could be invested into ownership, you know? So in general, or in the actual process, what would you say, if there's anything?
I think for me, I'm not going to say people have a waste of money, because people value different things. Like, some people may want a nice, comfortable bed. I just think, can you truly afford it? Can you buy this 2 or 3 times? And I think that's just like my biggest thing. If you can do everything 2-3 times, then cool. If you can't, that's when you know that this is a waste of money.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, but because I feel like there's certain things, like some people, you can skip the home inspection. And I'm like, no, don't skip it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Don't skip that. Because
Okay.
we have stories for days where, you know, home inspection is around $300 to $500, and the HVAC don't work, and that's a $10,000 fix. So if you didn't listen to anything else, do not skip the home inspection.
That's
I don't
good.
care if your dad's a contractor, grandpa's electrician, you need someone to go through that house. You're buying the biggest investment of your life. $300 to $500 is not even 1% of what you're about to get yourself into.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
I think, I think the furniture, everyone values money different ways. So I think it just depends on what that person values money and where they see fit for after they purchase a house.
Because I'm not going to tell nobody, oh, you don't need Uber Eats or whatever, because that might save you time to spend more time with your family. So, or save for whatever. So if you can afford it 2-3 times, then you good. But
That's
if you
good.
you only got a half, you put another half on a credit card. You didn't need that.
Yeah, that's good. I like what you're saying now. Okay, y'all better get these gems. Okay.
Oh, here's another gem. Affirm. I've never used none of those Klarna. Like I never used none of them, but people use them, and they're great, right? But sometimes those affect your credit.
Oh yeah, they do.
And people don't realize that. And those are affecting your credit.
Let me tell you. People are doing that a lot more than we think. Like when I first moved here, I didn't know what a CPM was, right? And then I heard about it, and I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, dang, this don't sound, I didn't really understand. Because the girl was trying to big it up to me, like, oh, girl, no, this build your credit. Like, I got my apartment in her car. That's what she's telling me. I got my apartment. She drove a nice car. I was like, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. But then I found out, I was like, dang, you got one. It's like, dang, so many people are doing this thing that I don't even really think you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So it's making me think, even the Affirm and the Klarna, like all that, what you're saying. I was talking to one person, and they were telling me they take their trips, like they paying for the flight with, like, I was like,
I mean, in times it's important when you need it or whatever.
yeah, but I just can't believe people living like that. Like, you ain't got it.
Because
just
I think
chill.
they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people broke.
That's terrible.
Because like with me being in real estate, I've been around millionaires or CEOs. They got the black shirt on with the khakis, and that's it. Driving a beater car, like they value different things because they know what's truly important. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying don't treat yourself, because I love a good vacation. Yeah. But like, don't be using like Afterpay. Just save the money.
Just save the money.
Yeah. Or go where you can afford. Like, you don't have to go to Dubai. Maybe you're gonna have to go to New York or Cancun or something like that. New York, you get what I'm saying?
Right. Maybe it's going to
staycation. Have a nice staycation.
So I would say this though, in depression, that's when you will see the increase of people wanting to get out, entertainment, all those things.
True. Yeah.
I mean, because people are like, hey, I don't have it.
What else do I got to lose?
Right. Everything.
Yeah. And people like, hey, if you put $50 or whatever to the side for that, you could use that to get an investment, whatever that might look like to you. And I tell people too, when you get your house, and we talk about this in our Women Invest in Real Estate, when you get your house and things are working, that house can be your money bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a HELOC. And then you can start that business that you might want to start.
And another thing that I want to touch on is we also tell people to invest into Roth IRAs. Like, you don't just always have to do real estate. Just make sure that you're investing, because you need passive income coming in. Because if you're maxed out at your job making $60,000, $70,000, you're never going to grow. You need more income, because at a certain point you can't reduce your expenses because they're necessities.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So since we're talking a lot about investing, we're going to go there, and then we're going to get into your event coming up and the academy. We're going to talk about that. But some of these are so good. And then we're going to end with something fun. We're going to play a game of this or that. Okay?
Okay.
So investor mindset. I want to talk about that because you mentioned on the form, shifting from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. What does that actually look like in everyday life? I would love to hear from you ladies, because they know they stuff. Okay, so y'all better tune in, okay? Okay, they know what they talking about. So hearing it from y'all, I would love to know.
Shifting from a consumer's mindset to an investor mindset.
Yeah, what does that look like in everyday life to you ladies?
I think for me, just simple, like, for example, if you're buying an Apple product, maybe investing into the Apple stock, matching your money. Because I think so many people feel like, I work so hard because I work 60, 70 hours a week that I can spend because I deserve this. You don't deserve every little thing. I'm not saying you don't, but if you can't financially afford it, you don't deserve doing something every single night. Yeah. And just giving yourself excuses. So I think those are just small tips. Matching the amount of money you spend today into your savings. Can you do that? If you can't, then you don't need it.
I mean, and one of the things that every time we get our money, we take a certain percentage and we put it into investing. And so you should pay yourself first. So I'm a real big keen of that. Whatever it is that you make, if it's $5,000 a month that you made, then 10% of it or 20, whatever fits for your budget, should be going into some type of investment or savings or whatever it is for you to be able to build. And if you're not doing that, then you're on a consumer mindset. That means that you're taking your money and you're going ahead and you're paying all the necessities, doing all those things, and you have not thought about yourself. And yourself means investing. So the investment mindset means that you're taking a percentage and then you're putting that into investing.
That's so
And
good.
that's what we do. So every check that I get, before I pay a bill or do anything else, a percentage of it comes out and it goes into this account that's going to be for investing.
That's so good.
That's the shift right there. As far as mindset. If it is a job that you're working, like making sure that you're taking every advantage that you have, matching your 401k, you know what I mean? Like doing all those different things. Some people don't even know if they have 401k.
Yeah.
All the different benefits. Like making sure that you understand all the benefits that your job has and actually using them. Using all the resources that they have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To help. But some jobs help you with purchasing a house. I mean,
There's teacher loans, doctor loans, like there's stuff out there for you.
that you should know about. It's consumer mindset is you're only consumed on what's around you, and an investment mindset means that you're paying attention.
That's
to
good.
what's going on.
Oh, that's so good. I can't wait to watch this episode back so many times. That is good. What's the difference between buying liabilities and buying assets?
Buying a liability, it depletes you, and assets is gonna appreciate. I think people think they deserve the world, and they really don't at the moment.
Yeah, you deserve what you can afford. Okay.
But here's the thing: is be happy and
Yeah.
and accept it, and not worried about it. You know what I mean? And I
Exactly.
think that's the key: is that I can only afford whatever that is right now,
Yeah.
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and love it and enjoy it and be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I think what's messing us up is social media, because when we look at
Definitely.
the average billionaire, millionaire, whatever, they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, but with social media, it's fake. And a lot of people think, oh my God, I'm so behind.
Yeah.
I haven't done this yet. But the average homeowner is like in their 30s, 40s, like, so you're right where you need to be. And I think a lot of people just miss that because of social media and external pressures.
Yeah. But one liability is a car.
Yeah.
Right? That is a liability. You know, buy the car that is affordable
Yeah.
for you, that works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as it comes off the lot, it depreciates.
Literally.
You know what I mean? And then you're paying $500 a month.
More than that. Every car payment is
I'm gonna say
$750.
hi.
Car payment,
They high.
but whatever that is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, you're paying that. Ever since I got because I used to buy cars, pay for them, and ever since I got into that voluntary repo, I got a limo. That was like, I was done.
Yeah.
For all my cars straight out.
I'm telling you, I used to work at a bank and this guy came in and has always stood out to me. I'm like, okay, Lord, I aspire to be that type of wealthy. But he used to say all the time, if you can't buy it in full, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
And that was his thing. And he said, I've never paid for a car and had monthly. Like, if I can't buy it in full,
Then I don't, and that's why I don't buy it. When the car that I want, I put a certain savings account aside. I say, this is the car I want. I do my research. It's, I don't know, $30,000. I don't know what the car is. I'm saving that money so that way I can go in there and negotiate.
yeah, right.
And get it to the best price.
I love it.
And have that car paid for. So that way that's a debt that I don't have to worry.
Yeah, man, that's good.
There are good debt and there are bad debt, right?
Give me an example.
I mean, bad debt to me is a car payment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good debt is a house.
Okay, got you.
You know what I mean? Because this house, after a couple of years, will be money that's going to be on the back end that I could use for whatever that might be, as far as selling it,
You're right.
equity, whatever. Whereas this car, even when I sell it, come time to sell it, I'll never make what I paid for it.
And then sometimes if it got too many miles on it, you can't even sell it back.
That's one example of, good debt, bad debt. Understand your portfolio, you know what I mean, of what you should have income-wise.
Okay. How would you ladies say wealthy people think differently about money?
Yeah, I think they use money as a tool.
Wealth is, people are using it as a leverage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they think differently about the money, whereas some of us who we're scarcity of the money. So we hold it. We don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for example, it's like she said, I got $10,000 and
I don't want to pay my car down to get rid of that debt or something like that.
yeah, because I'm scared to be broke again.
Right.
And not have $10,000 back again.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the wealth is, I'm like, I got this money. How can I multiply this 10 times more? Whereas a lot of times we're holding on to it and it doesn't increase it. We're not increasing it.
Or a lot of people, I feel like, think you can save yourself into being financially free, and that's not the case. I believe you should save a certain amount of money. At that 6 to 12 months, have your sinking funds, have all of that. But what are you doing with that money? And then make sure those savings accounts are high yield savings accounts.
Yeah.
So I think what I've learned from, the billionaires and millionaires that I've been around is you have to take those risks.
Gotta take
They're
them.
like so scared, but are you happy with where you at?
Yeah. Somebody great said something to me once. They said, with your 9 to 5, when you work a certain amount of hours, you know exactly what your money's going to be. But in entrepreneurship and when you go to take a risk, yeah, it could be that 50,000 that you're used to making, but it can also be double that, triple that, more. So sometimes you got to take, is the risk worth it? You just have to ask yourself that question.
Well, people have lost.
Yeah, right.
What I mean? So that's the thing. People are scared, they have lost, and they do it again.
Yep.
And they've lost hundreds of times, thousands of times.
Yeah.
They're just not talking about it or showing it.
Yeah. But
in order to be successful, you have to lose.
Yeah, you have to mess up.
We went to Halladam Eatery. I just passed it on the way here, coming from my house. I'm like, oh, shoot, I go here all the time. Didn't realize it was so close to me. But the owner of it came in on our co-working date. And that date, he said that was the first month since they had been open that they didn't take a loss that was 6 figures. But he said they take a loss every month, whether it's this or that. And, when I heard him say that, I was motivated. I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. We all taking losses out here, okay? Well, and it's a part of the journey. It's a part of the game.
I think it's important to learn from those losses and not continue to make the same mistakes from the loss.
For sure. Yeah. What's one mindset shift that changed your financial future personally? And do you believe generational wealth starts with information first?
Yes, information changes generational wealth.
100%.
Knowing the knowledge and understanding it is the key, and then starting to actually act on it and build on it. You know what I mean? And so I think that's totally important. So that way, I'm not right now, the things that I'm doing, I'm not thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about her kids.
Right.
And how is that going to continue on?
I remember I had a coach, and with me being a younger agent, I think, I always have those doubts, don't nobody want to work with a 21-year-old, whatever. So she told me that older people are used to younger people doing stuff for them. And I think that shifted my mind and helped me become more confident into conversations, because she's right. If you go get your hair done, you may be used to somebody that's younger. But I was like, no one wants to work with me.
And that's good that you said that. That's interesting.
But I'm trying to think a mindset, because I'm always of an affirmation person.
Yeah.
I'm big on those things. I think one of the things is just belief. You know what I mean? Believing as small as a mustard seed, having the faith of that. And sometimes I fall into where my faith does start to slow down. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all this stuff is going on, and I don't have faith anymore. And then I have to remember the faith is as a mustard seed.
That's all you need.
And that's all I need. And once I take that, I'm good. And that's the shift. Is I keep saying, even when things don't look like it's not going to happen, it happens no matter what. And so I keep that as my, and I don't even know if that answers the question.
Yeah, that's good.
But is that having that faith is the seed of a mustard seed. When it looks like it's going down, I'm still no.
Right.
It's still gonna happen regardless. Even when everybody else is this isn't gonna happen.
What'd you say the lady said you had ignorant what?
Ignorance on fire.
You still ignorance on fire. Yeah. Okay. No matter what, at all times. Okay. That's the message.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
So, Mama, I have a question for you. What does it feel like building legacy alongside your daughter instead of just leaving one behind for her?
So it's such a blessing, right? Because we complement each other well because we know each other well. I know her for 23 years.
Right. Yeah.
So I know when to fall back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You know what I mean? Because I know where it's going to lead or when to take a break. Because you also remember, we're also a family business, so we live together. And we still got to have our own free time.
Right.
But we talk about business a lot. And you to not talk about business.
Right.
You know
that balance.
Having a balance is important. And so to be able to build this together is now what we're creating is going to be what we both envision. It's not I'm creating this vision for her.
Right.
we're creating this vision together. So
Beautiful.
we both are seeing this vision together of what we want, and it's not an I thing.
I love that. Nieva, what's one thing that your mother taught you about business or life that you fully now understand as an adult? Anything, if there is anything.
Great question.
Thank you so much.
Because I feel like the weird thing is I don't realize like I'm learning these things because I've learned them at a young age. So like now it's like it's not new to me because like we've been together forever. But to answer your question, what have I learned from my mother? I think to just keep going, like she said. Like I would just watch her and she's like, "We're just gonna do this." Cause like me, I'm very like analytical when it comes to the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't make sense in my head.
Yeah.
So like, should we just stop now before it's too late? Or cause like I'm okay with pivoting. Like some people are like, oh,
I love that,
you
girl.
quit. No, I'm pivoting because I don't want to lose. So
I love
she's
that.
like, no, we just need to keep going. So I think just keep going no matter what. And I'm just gonna keep going no matter what. I think that's just like the biggest thing that I've learned.
That is true. Because I will be like, we're gonna. If I say we're doing it, we're doing it. No matter how it's going to happen, because I believe that much is going to happen.
Right.
And she'd be like, "Nah, Mama, we got to do this, and no, we want to do this." And I'd be like, "No, like we got to stay the course."
Yeah. I understand that, but I love that. And sometimes that's what the balance is like. That's why y'all the perfect team. You know what I mean? That's why y'all the perfect team.
And we can still shift within it.
Yeah.
But if that's whatever the end goal is, like I'm telling her, we're completed to the end if we fail or lose.
Okay, I love it.
I feel like every loss you learn something. Yeah.
It's not really a loss; it's a lesson. That's what they say. Let's see. What does generational wealth mean to you, ladies? Beyond money, though, you know, beyond money, what does that really mean to you?
So for me, beyond the money is really having the time to be able to be with family, right? So I want to, like, again, I have 13 brothers and sisters. Like my mom still works, like all those different things. I want to get
that's
to
amazing.
A point. Yeah, I want to get to a point to where like it surpasses me and her, but goes into like my brothers and sisters and their kids that they have, and it extends off to the other offsprings of my family that can have a place to live, that can understand that we can have time together.
I don't want to cut you off, but the cool thing is she's helping her brother buy a home because she's a realtor. So helping them build generational wealth.
Yeah, helping. Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. Like talking to them and telling them, like, because I wish at my age at that time that somebody was telling me to do those.
Right.
You know what I mean? But my parents didn't know that at that time. Which is fine. But now, like, I had that conversation with all my brothers. Like, I told them all, like, whenever you're ready, like, I'll help out.
Yeah.
And you help your parents buy a house too. So you help your parents and you're in the process of helping your brother buy a house.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is. I love that. Let's talk about the event real quick, okay? Women Invest in Real Estate, y'all have a brunch, the Women Invest Brunch. It's September this year. It's 3 days. I did some research. It's 3 days upcoming, September 11th, 12th, and 13th, but the 11th being a day only for VIP ticket holders, yes?
Yes.
Break down this event. Well, first of all, break down how the event came about, why y'all decided, you know what, we're going to have an event about this thing and pour into women. So why was it important for you to, you know, number one, have the event in the first place? And, you know, what can we expect for this upcoming year in a few months, this event? Go ahead.
I would say first, representation is very important, especially in our community. So I think it's important for women to see other women succeeding. So I think that's why the event is in person and not virtual. But this is our second year doing the brunch at this magnitude. We were just doing seminars in our office.
Okay.
So we've expanded into a weekend that we're touching people throughout the whole United States or whatnot. But yeah, September 11th is the VIP dinner. So that's for the panelists to have your conversations, because networking is important. You need to get in the room and ask your questions while you at dinner. The next day is September 12th, and I think it's very important to have wellness, because if you're like frantic, you're not going to be prepared for the weekend. So we got to mentally prepare you to get these gems for the weekend. So we'll be at Hot Works. So they're going to have their massages. We're going to have like Artist Garden. We have a few sponsors already that's going to be there. And then I think it's very important for people who's been to events by themselves to meet people before the main day, because some people are scared. Some people haven't been to Atlanta. So that's why we decided to do like a chill meet and greet later on in the evening. And
Those people might be your next business partner.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the next person that you might.
Yeah, because I went to an event back in last year in November, and that same person that I met, we closed the deal in March.
Love to hear it.
So
It's important to have those meet and greet because you don't know who you're in the room with or when you guys together we can do.
That's good.
So that's why we're having that meet and greet. And again, to piggyback on her, wellness is key. So on top of everything that we're doing, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself because when you have this money 10, 20 years later and you can't walk or you can't move because you haven't taken care of yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like important for us on that.
So it's like a wellness real estate retreat because I don't like the boring, stuffy, cold conference room vibe.
Yeah.
Like even though I go to them because like I'm trying to get to the next level.
You're trying to create a different vibe.
A different vibe for women. And then the main brunch, we'll be talking about we have a lot of panelists coming on talking about investing internationally in Costa Rica. I have a lady doing development. She just closed on like a $2 million deal. So I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
With real women that's investing and they all look like us. So that is like I said, the main reason why we've created that space. We're going to have funding for you. So if you don't got the money, we got the people with the DSCR loans, the hard money loans. So if you don't leave doing anything, that was you.
Okay. Let me tell you, somebody told me last year, and I'm telling you, that's what made me be consistent. That's why we know each other. I was consistent last year, and that's how we've been able to do it. She said, girl, if you don't thrive this year, it's on you. And I took that and ran with them, I'm telling you. Because it's all we need is the mustard seed. You know, all you need to do is get in that room September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Yeah. Okay? It's on you. Yeah. Okay?
And then if you're not able to get into the room, that brings us into our Women Invest Online Academy where we dive deeper into the topics. So we've had lawyers on there, our lenders on there. We're talking about our next class is walking you through an investment. We're actually taking people to investment properties and be like, hey, what do you think that we should do? And then we're going to help you to figure out what you should do. Because I think a lot of people, they may not understand the information when you just tell them. So we got to physically be in there like, what do you think this place should need? Because when you do this on your own, you're not going to like have us walking you through it.
I'm a big person like teaching you how to fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can go fishing for you and give you this fish. Right. But you're not going to know how to do it. And my whole thing is that I want to teach you, like, there is nothing wrong with giving this information out. You know what I mean? So I want to teach you how to fish. So if you know how to fish, you're going to be able to continue to keep fishing for yourself and for everybody else. You know what I mean?
You're going to keep bothering me. For my fishing pole, we gonna equip you, okay? I feel that it is though.
That's why we're doing this 3-day event is because we're really trying to teach you guys how to fish because
step by step
we had problems invested. You know what I mean? Like, and we still do have our ups and downs. But they're very minimal. And I want to show people like how can we do this without all of the rigmarole that comes along with it.
What would you say you're looking forward to most this year that maybe you didn't do last year or wasn't a part of last year's that you're just really looking forward to at this Invest Brunch for, your people to experience, your community to experience?
For me, we did do a 3-day event. So I'm excited that we're doing 3 days event and expanding. So that means that we get to be with the people a lot more.
That's fun.
We didn't really have time to. So I'm really looking for the VIP dinner.
Good.
Because now we're having a real dinner conversation where we can answer and have real in-depth conversation. At the event, I can't have these conversations.
Yeah.
I can't really
I be feeling bad when we got to cut the time Q&A. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, DM us, ask us the question.
Yeah. I don't have the time. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
But at the VIP dinner, there's no time. So we can really dive in. We can really get each other's cell phone numbers and really talk and really build. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Anything for you?
She touched it.
Okay.
I'm just like expanding and just reaching more people because we did extend it last year. We had about 50 people. We're expanding to have a little bit more. So just reaching more women is just important to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's not really too many communities that's really truly uplifting women that look like us. So I think just bridging that gap is just so important.
Because here's the thing, like there are a lot of communities out there, but there are more communities that are, hobbies and having fun.
Yeah.
And doing all that stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
But this is a different type of community. Like, we're having fun, but we're building.
We're building and having fun. Yeah.
You know what I
Even
mean?
last year, we had an attendee come in September. By January, she brought her first invest. Well, she had a property. She rented out that property and brought her a second home.
That's what's up.
Yeah, she did it in
like 4 or 5 months. So the women
house hacking is what we call it, which most people they know, but they don't really get the grasp of the concept.
Right.
And she took that
and ran with
4
it.
months. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take action. I hate when people get in a room and they don't take action. They're just in there taking their videos, taking their photos. Like, take action.
Love it, girl. How important is representation? Because you mentioned it, both of you. How important is representation when women see other women who look like them owning property, though, and building wealth? You know, what firsthand experience do you feel with like seeing that and being like, oh, okay, you know, this is why this representation matters?
I think representation is so important because I feel like that little voice in our ear, they're saying, well, these people look a certain way. That's why they got that success. So I think when you see someone that comes from the same upbringing as you and looks like you, it's like, no, you don't have no excuse. It's you. And I think it's very important for representation. Like, even me, I was leaders in rooms and I was the only person that looked like me on the stage when I was talking. So I think the little girls that were in the room, they were saying like, oh, it is possible to be on stage and to be talking. So representation is so important because I think it helps you believe in you.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, one of my saying is if I could believe it, then we could achieve it. You know what I mean? And if I could see that person up there doing that, then we can achieve it. You understand that. So I really feel like being a Black woman with a daughter, another female who might be in that same place can now see, you know what? This can happen.
So I feel like people give up before it's too early. Like, I've already done, like, you had a child, my dreams are over, but you were still able to prevail and succeed. And I think people just have to see that.
Hold on. I'm missing something.
The game?
Real estate is my game.
Oh.
Yeah. What is that? I want to touch on that a little bit because I seen that you had a karaoke event. And I love me some karaoke. You know, I'm just throwing it out there, okay?
Real estate is my game. We're a team. So we're a mother-daughter duo at the moment. So that's just our team name. So
okay,
that's
got you.
Working with our actual clients. So we do a lot of client appreciation events. So that's what the karaoke event was. Because relationships are important and staying. Because it's so weird. You talk to the person every single day when you're working with them, and then you don't hear from them. So just rekindling that relationship is why we do those.
I'm like, dang. If I call you now, you don't answer the phone. But when I was working with you, answer the phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're big relationship people, and we just appreciate it so much. So we always want to give back.
Yeah.
It's just who we are.
Another thing is we wouldn't be where we are without you guys. So it's important to continue to show you guys that we appreciate you.
Yeah, we love you guys.
I love that.
And so we're always trying to figure out, like, what can we do? What can we do to give back, to show our appreciation? And we be missing them.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, girl, how's it going?
Yeah.
Dinner on you? I'm just kidding. Okay, y'all. I got a few more questions, but we're going to pause and play a little game real quick, okay? All these next few questions anyways are kind of fun and lighthearted, so we're going to do our this or that, and then we're going to continue, okay? All these questions are going to be right now, if you're right now in your life.
For
dream
me
home.
personally?
Yep, for you personally, dream home or investment property?
Investment property.
Me would be dream home.
Dream home. Yeah. Okay, I can see that though. Depends on where you are in your life. Yeah. So I can totally see that. Okay. High-rise condo or a big suburban home? Right now, where you are.
I'm gonna do Suburbans because I did the apartment living. They poop everywhere. The valet trash stinks. I'm over it.
Okay.
I would say suburban.
Suburban home too. Yeah. Okay. Flip houses or long-term rentals?
I'm a flip girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the flip. It's such a reward to put all that together and then see my baby go.
Oh
my God, I did all this. I'm a flip girl.
Okay.
I would say the same thing because some of them renters, they give you a headache.
Yeah, we have rented properties.
Really?
Like,
the toilet seat broken. Can you come over here? Fix your own toilet seat. Like
easy. Okay. Easy fix. Okay. Save money or make money? We know this one.
Oh, yeah, it's make money.
Make
both.
money.
Yeah.
Both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both, but yeah.
I think I know this one too because you kind of said it. Section 8 rental or Airbnb?
Section 8.
Really? long
That's
term,
consistent.
right?
I know I'm gonna get that. I got a rental property now that's in Section 8. I know that check come every single month.
I know that's right.
On the first, and I don't have to second guess it.
Okay.
For sure. And Atlanta is looking for more landlords
Really?
for Section 8. Yeah.
Okay, I need to be a landlord.
Section 8 all day. Airbnb does
Because it's inconsistent income. You don't know. You're going to have the high seasons, the low
Yeah.
seasons. So it's hard to predict when you have a fixed mortgage.
Do y'all tap into Airbnb at all?
We've done Airbnb. It's just not my forte.
Okay.
For us.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because when we're so busy doing so many different things, it's not my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my last one with this or that. Business with family or business with friends?
Business with family.
I mean, we can do both.
Right.
We can do both, but
We can balance both.
yeah, business with family.
Okay. Now we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, okay? But this has been very, very fun. And I still have a few things on here that I think it just be very fun. I feel like we need to share it. We need to let the people know. Cause it's real talk, okay? What's something that nobody tells women about entrepreneurship?
That it is hard and you just got to keep going.
Yeah, I think people, there are going to be days when you don't have no money.
Or you don't feel like it. I think people feel like, oh, well, their emotions, you need to be disciplined to keep going. It's some days that I don't feel like talking to people, but I understand that my goals is I need to talk to X amount of people to reach my goals. I'm really going to be depressed.
Yeah, girl.
In that beginning process of being an entrepreneur, there are going to be times where you're going to want to quit.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to be able to be able to say, I can do this without having to have someone to tell you.
Yes. So a good friend of mine, she's always talking about discipline, you know, and she just put on her social media the other day and it stood out to me. She said, you know, when you're not motivated, that's when that discipline kicks in. You know what I mean? When you don't have the motivation to go to the gym this day, that's when that discipline kicks in.
And I want to touch on that. Is your why.
So
why
yeah.
are you doing this? And I think I'm very big with affirmations. I have a focus word every single day, affirmation every single day, and I have a board in front of me and I have my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because you need that constant reminder. And I think people write their New Year's resolutions and they look at it once a year. I look at mine every single day. So even when I don't feel like talking to 20, 30 people a day, I still do it.
Right, because of your why is right in front of you.
It's important. I think one of the key things is that sometimes people need to have other people affirming them.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And you have to be the person that really believes in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who is?
100%. How do you ladies stay disciplined during like slow seasons, or you know, is there a slow season during real estate? Okay, so how do you stay disciplined during that time? What do you do to prepare for that? I know in the restaurant industry, we'll always tell our team, like, you know, it's slow season, save your money now. You know, be saving your money because it's not going to be like it is during season where you making $300-$400 every night, you know, or something like that. So what do y'all do to stay disciplined during slow seasons?
So one of the things is making sure you're still making those phone calls as a real estate agent. You know what I mean? Making sure that you're being disciplined and making those phone calls, staying connected, and keeping your pipeline full. That's important during those slow seasons because those are the ones that's going to go. And it's your connections.
Yep.
It's your relationships.
Yep.
That's going to keep you going.
Okay. Anything for you, or you agree?
I agree. I think just staying disciplined, like paying yourself first, not overspending. I know a lot of realtors, they pay themselves a fixed amount every single month. So say, for example, you got a $20,000 check. They may pay themselves $5,000 for 4 months instead of spending all that money at once.
At once, smart.
So I just think just staying consistent, because consistency is key. And the day you start being inconsistent, you won't reach your goals.
You gotta stay relevant, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely discipline. Definitely making this go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like this is so much good stuff. Okay. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. Okay. But I still just have a few more. Okay. Renting or owning, which one builds wealth faster? Would you say?
You don't build wealth by renting.
Yeah.
Like if you own something and renting it out, maybe, or if you're owning something and just living in it. I guess I don't know. What would you say?
When you give that question again, when you're renting, like the person is like me is staying in a rental property.
I think she's trying to say you're the landlord and you're renting out a property.
Opposed to not renting out and just having your home and maybe just planning to sell it later. You know,
like if I just had one house myself and I was living in it and then maybe sell it. Okay, so what's the question?
Yeah, like, just like your friend, you said she had a home and she was living in it, and then she sold that and was able to
think
get
it's
another one.
first.
So, like, which one?
You need to do what's best for you first and get your home first.
Okay.
And then after that, then you can invest because you need to make sure that your mortgage, because mortgage is pretty much fixed unless your taxes or whatever go up. Making sure your bills are fixed.
What would you say the biggest fib people believe about real estate?
And which part? We're trying to invest in or in real estate and buying a home?
I want to know at like becoming a real estate agent and when it like investing and buying a home. Like, I would like to know both perspective in case someone is watching this and they're considering becoming a realtor. I ain't gonna lie, I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about it myself because a guy next to me, he is a realtor and he just loves it so much. He made me do it. And I was looking into this in Florida, but then I moved to Georgia and said to hell with it. But I actually took the course and I felt my first time. I did my practice one good, but my real test I didn't pass. It ain't no joke.
50% of people fail. So.
It ain't no joke.
I know somebody who's successful in and out, but I interviewed her. She told me she failed it 4 times. And I was like, did you ever think that maybe I should not? And she was like, nah. Because I know people who are successful and failed it. It's not no joke. But she is doing it and loving it. So,
I mean, and there's people who pass it the first time and don't sell those.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's who you are.
Yeah.
It's going to really work. I think the biggest fib in real estate, becoming a realtor, is that the get rich. I'm going to be rich.
Or it's
as well.
easy. Or they think their friends and family is going to buy a home, but they're probably not in the market to buy a home. So I think, like you said, everyone thinks it's easy because of social media. I don't care how successful you are. It's still going to be a different type of level of hard. Because as soon as you start building a team, you got people that you're employing now.
Yeah.
So you got to work even harder. Like, yeah, you have that leverage, but I know people who are paying assistants $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year.
Dang.
Plus all of your other expenses. And I think you need to have money if you're getting into real estate because the biggest thing that you need as a realtor is leads. If you have no leads, you ain't gonna sell no houses. Who are you gonna call? Like,
it's a lot of money. Like, people don't realize that to get into real estate, you have your dues. You have the realtor dues. I mean, like you said, paying for leads. Like, there's so much
advertising, putting yourself out there because I'm not gonna say it's saturated, but everyone knows at least 3 realtors.
Right. Yeah.
So
Right.
I think everybody should get into real estate if that's investing, a realtor, whatever. But being a real estate agent is a full-time job. A lot of people are like, oh, I have more flexibility. No, you're working on their time.
Before we continue this part, I want y'all to drop where people can follow you, where can they purchase these Women Invest Brunch tickets, how can they enroll in your Women Invest Online Community Academy, all of that. Go ahead and drop all of your details and socials.
So for Women Invest, our website is womeninvestre.com. So you can find the Women Invest Brunch tickets and the Women Invest Online Trading Academy. For our social media, the social media is on all platforms is Women Invest in Real Estate. And when it comes to working with us personally, if you want to buy or sell, on all platforms is Real Estate is My Game from TikTok, Facebook, etc. And then personally, I think my social media is I am Nakila, which is my middle name, which a lot of people don't know.
I really want this event to be put out there. So who should be in the room in September at this Women Invest Brunch?
Anybody who's ready to elevate and grow because you can't keep doing the same things to get a different result. You got to do something different. So switch it up.
What kind of transformation do you hope women will walk away with after leaving the Women Invest Brunch?
I hope that when women come out that they feel more confident than ever and that they actually take on the action to do it. I just want them to be confident.
Yeah.
When they walk out of here that they have a whole new, brand new self. Like, I can do this and do it.
And if a woman is listening right now and scared to start in this industry or lane, what would you tell them?
I would tell them first, believe that you can do it. And then second, just learn. Like, we have AI, we have YouTube. Just learn because the more that you know, the more that you can do.
And I would tell a person, what will you lose?
A lot of people, when they get older up in age and, when they're about to pass, they have a lot of regret. So just go for it.
Just go for it, right?
That's my thing is, like, what can you lose? Excuse me. Even if it's like, okay, yeah, I can lose whatever the ticket cost is, like, right? But you spend that probably going out to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Truth be told.
Or on a vacation
or whatever. You spend that simply doing the smallest things. So if you take one chance on yourself and spend that money on that ticket, only thing you can do is gain.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a positive outlook instead of like, what can I lose? What can I gain from leaving this room?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's important.
That's
like,
good.
I think that when those people get into those rooms, they need to say, hey, my goal is to meet 3 people and get their phone.
And be very intentional. Because I feel like a lot of people fake network, and it gives me the biggest ick. Like, when people pass you a business card and then walk away, like, no, you have to really build relationships.
You really do, though.
And that's why it is a 3-day event for you to do. Like, we're intentional in everything that we're doing. For every event, it's intentions of why we're doing it. For you to build with these people. So when you leave, you're going to feel like you have a community or somebody. I mean, it's hard, those 1-day events, you meet that person, and it's very brief, and then you're gone.
Yeah, you meeting so many people at that one day, you know?
Yeah, but in this 3-day event, we got the VIP dinner, and then the wellness event, the meet and greet. By Sunday,
it's 4 events. You should be besties with somebody.
Besties, yeah. We business besties. We done showed up and
we hadn't talked about things.
Exactly.
Work things out, and now we're setting you up. Then after that, you're in the academy, and then you're here, and the next thing you know, within a year, your whole life can change.
Next thing you in the home.
Exactly.
Right? Or invest in yourself. So, oh my gosh. Thank you so much, ladies. This was great. If you're watching right now, make sure you follow these ladies on all platforms and support them at their brunch or just everything. Join the community. Show up at buy a home so you can show up at the Real Estate is My Game events and do some karaoke. Okay. Anything else you want to leave the people with? What's next for the brand just before I get ready to wrap this thing out? Any last minute, anything?
Like I said, take action no matter what you do and be very intentional.
All right. We'll leave it there, okay? You heard this first. Make sure you follow LIM, Ladies in Motion, on all platforms. You can listen to this on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you winners are in the know every single time I'm sitting down with Women That's Winning. Until next time, bye.
Bye.